Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a get ready with me. Hubby and I are going on a date tonight. We are actually going to go visit a new restaurant called Rocco's Tacos, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started. If you like this video, thumbs up, give me a little comment letting me know what kind of videos and content you like. In the meantime, I'm just popping on one of my favorite YouTubers and watching her while I put on my makeup. So I believe I already got ahead and moisturized and put my eye cream on, so I'm going to go ahead and prime with the Master Prime. I'm not a huge fan of this primer, but I did buy it, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I do have pores that are more bigger and accentuated in the center of my face, and I don't feel like this does a really good job. I love the Professional. It's just very expensive. I also like the e.l.f. primer, poreless primer, but it's a little on the greasy side, and since I have oily skin, I try to stay away from that one. And yeah, so we are primed, and I'm going to go ahead and put on my foundation. I'm using the Wet n Wild foundation in Soft Beige. This foundation, I have a love-hate relationship with it. It is so hot here in Florida that it doesn't combat the grease. I had to go wet my beauty blender, so that's why there's a little bit of a cut in between the segments. But yeah, I'm just popping on the foundation using the spatula. I'm kind of rocking a little bit of a tan right now, so I could have used a shade or two darker, but this is what I have on hand. And we'll just go ahead and bronze up the face later and make everything match. So I'm just spraying the foundation across my face, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with a beauty blender. And I take my time when I'm blending. I just make sure that I go over the areas multiple times and push it into the skin, so that way it's nice and even and gives me maximum coverage. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my eyes, under my eyes, and the center of my face with the Age Rewind. This is my favorite highlighter right now. It just gives you that nice boost of light under the eyes. I don't really have dark circle problems, maybe just a tad if it's a hard work at school or a hard week at school, or if I had some lack of sleep. And then I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out under my eyes and use whatever's remaining on my lids to prime my lids as well. I have very oily lids, so I like to take the extra effort and step to prime my lids while I'm doing my highlighting. And again, just taking the time to blend, 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 and blend, and blend, and blend some more. And excuse my room in the background, I had just finished laundry and I literally threw it all over my bed. And now we're going to go ahead and put on some cream products. We're going to put on this e.l.f. cream bronzer to bronze up the face. I'm going to go ahead and hit all the areas we would normally hit with a foundation brush. The forehead, the cheekbones, underneath the jawline, and I'm going to drag it down into the neck. And then we'll go ahead and use the beauty blender to blend it all out. And I do under the lips just to give me that little poutier look for my bottom lip. I know it looks crazy right now, but I promise, in the end it all works out. And when I'm done with the cream products, I'm going to go ahead and set the face, and we're going to use our powder products to set the contouring and the foundation. I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, as well as the Sally Hansen Firming Powder. I love the Firming Powder by Sally Hansen. I haven't seen it anywhere else. I love it for baking. It gives you that smooth, skin-like texture. It's just very smooth and even on the skin. And I like taking the beauty blender that's damp and just push it into the skin so that it kind of melts in with the foundation and it doesn't look so powdery. And here's the mineralized skin finish, and I'm just going to take it on a big fluffy powder brush, and I'm just going to pounce it on the skin to set any remaining wet product. I'm going to blend out the creases that were under my eyes because of the concealer, and go ahead and set that area, as well as the lids that I primed. And I take my time with this. I really want to make sure that my T-zone's nice and set because I am on the oily side. I'm going to go ahead and take this Quad by e.l.f. It has some really pretty nice shades in there, some peachy shades as well as a highlight that I really don't use. And I'm actually going to use this light contour shade, this bronzy shade, to just deepen up that contour and bring it up into the cheekbones so that it blends nicely. I'm also going to hit the forehead, the perimeter of the jawline, and down the neck, just to make sure everything is nice and blended. Perfect. And don't forget to drag it down your neck, ladies. We don't want to have that two-tone look. I'm also going to go ahead and not contour my nose really, but just create a nice shadow on the side of my nose, just to give me a little bit more definition. I'm not really into contouring the nose, but just creating a shadow down the nose really does slim it out just a bit. And then also the middle of the Cupid's bow, if you go ahead and drag a little bit of your contour shade down the Cupid's bow, it kind of gives you that pouty look. And now I'm using the Wet n Wild Contour Duo. I like this palette. The only thing that there's a lot of kickback, so you got to be really careful. And I'm just deepening up the contour just a little bit. I really like to layer my products on for that effect, so that it creates dimension and that you're not so flat. And I just went ahead and took that white shade and just set my under eyes. I'm taking this e.l.f. eyebrow pencil and I'm going to fill in my brows. There we go. Brows are filled in by the magic of cinema. I just lightly fill in the brows where I have spare hairs, and then I actually do take whatever powder's remaining on my brows on the brush and brush the brows because this is a waxier formula. So I don't want my brows to be sticky, so I set my brows as well. I'm using this Trio by Wet n Wild. I haven't been able to find it anywhere, but I love the shade. I just mix all three of them together. As you can see, it's very well loved. It's by Wet n Wild, and I have hit pan, so it's good stuff. Gives you that nice little glow. And I'm just hitting the cheeks, starting at the apples and then pulling back. And I'm hitting the top of the nose just to give that sun-kissed glow. I'm going to be using two highlighters today. I'm going to be using the Master Chrome in Molten Gold and the e.l.f. in a champagne color. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm going to go ahead and mix these two together. They are both beautiful on their own, but mixed together they are gorgeous. So I'm just tapping in using a large fan brush, and I'm just going to hit the high points of the face. And as you can see, it just gives you that nice, like, ethereal glow from within. Bring it down the bridge of the nose, and it's not too much. It's just perfect. All you need is a little bit. Now I'm going to take some Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later eye primer. Like I said, I have oily lids, so I'm priming double time, because if not, my liner will transfer up to my upper lid since I do have hooded lids. Shadow transfers so easily, so I'm just taking that extra step to make sure that nothing moves around. We're going to be working with the Jaclyn Hill palette today by Morphe. I'm just setting the lids with whatever powder's left on the powder brush. And I'm kind of wanting to go with like a really nice bronzy goddess look. So I'm going to be working with some browns and some bronzy shades today. We're going to go ahead and hit the crease color with this light tan shade. For me, I have to place this transition color above my crease because I do have hooded eyes. So what I do is I go ahead and drag it from the outer corner upwards into the crease and up just above the crease. That way, because if you see my eyes closed, you can go ahead and see the shadow, but if my eyes are open, it's really hard to see my shadow. So I make sure I drag up that transition really high. And I'm just building the color slowly. I'm going to go ahead and tap into a shade darker, and we're going to work that in the crease and just above the crease to give a little bit more definition. And I'm just using the same brush. I'm just using circular windshield wiper motions and just dragging the color in, building slowly. And I am pulling the shadow back towards the tail of my brow just to elongate the eye. I'm going to use this Morphe taper blending brush, and I'm going to tap into a nice chocolatey maroon shade, and I'm going to place that in the outer V of my eye, and I'm just placing it, and then I'm going to use my brush to move the product across the lid. This is going to go ahead and define the outer V of our eye and also give us that cat eye shape. And just take your time blending and moving that color in. It's a very intense color. Jaclyn Hill palette has amazing color payoff. So just tap your brush lightly, and you can always build your color, but you can never take away back. So I'm just taking my time, blending, applying color, blending, applying color, and blending. And it's giving us that nice seamless gradient. I'm now going to go ahead and take a nice bronzy shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to place that on the lid using my fingertips. This is a super emollient color, and I thought that the finger was the best way to apply. So what I'm doing is I'm just applying the color to the lid using a patting swiping motion across the lid. Not completely into the outer corner because I'm going to place another color there, but just enough to pull the color towards the inner corner to create a soft, non-harsh line. So I'm just using my brush and I'm blending the color inward so that way we can go ahead and create that gradient and make sure that everything is nice and soft. And right now it looks like a little bit of a mess, but I promise it'll all come together. I'm taking another Morphe blending brush and I'm tapping into that nice chocolatey shade. I'm going to tap into that darker shade just below as well. And we're going to deepen up the crease even more. the outer V, excuse me, and just work that into the crease just to give us a little bit more definition. And so what I do is I place the color down and I use my brush to move it. It's almost like using watercolors. It's placing the color down and then using your tool to move the color across the lid. And that's what really gives you that soft, smoky look. And I'm taking my blending brush again and just blending that transition shade out. We lost a bit in the building process, so I'm just adding a little bit more. Now I'm just taking a Morphe liner brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to smoke out the upper lash line using this matte black in the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm just going to take the black and stamp it onto my lash line. This creates a nice smoky look. It's not harsh. And I'm going to go ahead and flick out the outer portion of my lash using the shadow just to create a little bit of a smoky tail. And then I'm going to take my brush and just blend up the tail just a little bit so it's nice and soft. And it just pulls the eyes up and back. And then I'm taking whatever's left on my blending brush and I'm running underneath the lash line to smoke it out just a bit, just to give me a little bit more of that cat eye shape by pulling that color from our upper lid to our lower lid. And then I'm going to go ahead and smoke out the bottom lash line as well using that matte black and just push it up against the lower lashes. And this just gives your eye an appearance of, you know, a more wider eye when it's underneath the lash line as opposed to in the waterline. And we're going to blend it out and smoke it out. I'm going to go ahead and use a little flat shader and we're going to tap into this color here. I love this color as a highlight shade. It's just, in the pan, it doesn't do it justice, but once you apply it, it is absolutely beautiful. I wish Jaclyn and Morphe would come out with just this for a highlight because it is absolutely beautiful. It's so smooth and it just gives you that pop of light. And we're just putting it in the inner corners as well, just to open up that eye. And as you can see, in the pan it doesn't look like anything, but once you apply it, it's beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and curl our lashes, and we're going to be applying my current favorite, which is the L'Oreal's Lash Paradise. I love this mascara. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it dries out too fast, and I wish that the formula was a bit thinner so that it didn't dry out so fast and that it would be more buildable. I find that I can't really do more than 2 coats without it becoming super clumpy. but I don't have lashes, so I really doesn't matter if my lashes are clumpy because I don't have much lash to begin with. So if I have to have clumpy lashes to have great looking lashes, I'm okay with that. But as you can see, I'm just applying a thin coat on each eyelash, and then I'll go ahead and apply a second coat. I'm also going to take the same mascara and I'm going to hit the bottom lashes. I'm just going to go ahead and do one coat on the bottom lashes because I don't want my bottoms too clumpy. I am using the waterproof formula, and it is waterproof. It doesn't flake on me. It really is good mascara. I suggest you give it a try. Now it's time for lips. I'm going to be using this Tarte lip crayon in a really dark, almost brown shade, and I'm going to coat the lips with this. It's super creamy, and I'm also going to just line the lips a little bit and use this as my base, and then I'm going to take a lighter color and hit the center of the lips just to give me that pouty look. This is the NYX lip plumping. I don't think it's really lip plumping, but it is a pretty formula, and it just gives you that juicy look. So I'm just going to apply that to the center of the lips. It does have that tingling sensation, but it really isn't too bad. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is take a highlighter as well, and I'm going to put a little bit on my fingertip and just tap the center of my lips to give my lips a little bit more of that spotlight, center of the lip, juicy, plump look. And then a cupid's bow. And I'm going to pull my hair down, and the look is complete. This really nice, pretty smoky eye. It's super easy to do. It's just a couple of shades. Highlight is popping. Let's let it pop a little more. And I'm just adding a little bit more rosy cheeks to my lip. I lost a little bit in the building process of applying my makeup. And yeah, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more Get Ready With Me voiceovers, let me know, and I will see you in my next video.